Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON-TV Channel 9 and on radio at V99.3, Sports Radio 103.5 WKXO and Y92.5. Support your favorite local teams and enjoy the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, Nuevo Vallarta, and Aero Auto Glass. Now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live at Jack Burford Chevrolet. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here with you on another Monday night in Richmond. So glad to be with you, Samantha, and the weather's nice and warm for us again today.
It is, and we're both wearing our black.
Yeah, it's always warmer in black, too. You got a long sleeve on. And it's just hand-delivered, hand-gifted by Walt Wells, too, right?
I know, and I love it.
Well, he said you look better in the shirts he gives you than I do in the ones he gives me.
Of course.
Well, we've got Walt, very busy man this past week with training camp getting started. Coach, we're going to start there if we can and just kind of break down how the first week of camp went for you guys as you all prepare. I mean, football season, we're 22 days away,
yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, it's literally, we're right around the corner.
Yeah, we're in the abyss right now. We don't even know what day it is. I mean, we've gone, we reported Tuesday and had the big cookout, and then Wednesday is our first practice, and so we went Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's off. It was an off day. Now we have meetings. We had media day.
Yep.
Excuse me, and all that stuff. And
team picture.
And then team picture, they get to do their individuals, the media shots for starting lineup, all that kind of stuff. And, our crew over there, Corey Rush and the boys do a great job of organizing that and getting that together. And then today we were back out there today. So we'll go all week until Kid Stadium, which is closed, but we're having a worn cleat. We want all our worn cleat members, which is former players, managers, trainers, coaches, GAs, whoever that worked with the program, come back and eat with our team and watch the scrimmage. And then Sunday will be off. We'll take them to East Side on Sunday at 11 and have a service there. And then Virgil and the guys are so kind, they're going to feed them. And so, we'll do church service at 11 on Sunday, eat, and then meet all afternoon. And then give them a little time in the night to go rest up and get ready for a whole nother week of of Groundhog Day.
When do you start prepping for Mississippi State? Because I know right now you're still trying to figure out lineups, things like that. So when will you start putting game plan specific stuff in for them?
We won't start on them until, we start school the 19th. I'll give them that day completely off because it's always been, just a terrible day of practice everywhere I've been. I mean, I don't care, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Florida, Western, and then here. Everybody's like, it's the worst practice ever because they had to go to class and they had to, and I get it. So I'm just like, hey, let's make that our day off. Give them that day completely off. Let them go be normal for the first day of class. Get everything, if there's drop ads or whatever they got to do. They do all that, academic stuff. And then we'll start back on Tuesday. And so on that Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll probably work on WKU a little bit, and then we'll start into Mississippi State on that Thursday and just roll.
Well, talking about Mississippi State, Coach, we brought you a little something that you might want to take to practice.
Yeah. We may have you come out there and just stand behind the quarterback.
You and Donna can go out there and on the gator.
I can do it. 70,000 people ringing these bells.
Oh.
For the last several weeks, we have been asking the players, are you ready for the cowbells? And they're like, oh, yeah, Coach Wells is he's gonna play music. He's going to be cowbelling, and he's going to have us ready. How are you getting them ready for Mississippi State?
Well, right now we're working on us. We're just worried about finding out, getting back in the groove, getting our techniques, our fundamentals, our schemes and everything that we're going to use all season, getting reps at that because repetition is the mother of all learning in our sport. And so we've got to continue to get reps. And, we're preparing for stuff down the road too, like in UAC competition right now. We're running coverages, we're running routes, we're running run plays or run defenses or run blitzes just to put them on tape so the guys have done them before. So when we get to week 7, it's not the first time they've ever ran them. And so we'll do all that stuff. That's what we prepare all summer for. and we'll get it all in. And sometimes it looks like just a bunch of mud out there, and sometimes it looks really good. And so, but that's the process of training these guys and giving them reps so they know what they're doing. And then we'll continue to do that. So it's it's been fun. I mean, it's been good. I think we've upgraded in a lot of areas, and I think we've got some talent that I'm excited to see with no coaches on the field. And when you script everything out.
Yeah.
I mean, one side gets the ball, and then it can get a little competitive amongst the coaches to make sure that they're in the perfect call,
Yeah.
And so when you get in a scrimmage, they don't know what's being called, and you just got to roll and call it. And so I'm anxious to see how that happens and how how well we block, how well we tackle, and the small little details that we have to be able to be a good football team.
Right now you talked about being in the thick of things as y'all can go through camp, but there's the awards are starting to come out. We're seeing Peyton and Mike and Pat and guys kind of get these preseason honors, which doesn't really mean a whole lot if you don't go out there and capitalize on it.
Right.
But do you guys ever talk about that, or do you just kind of let them come in and just let the guys see it or whatever? Like, what's the protocol for that?
Our social media people do a great job. Like I said, Corey Rush, Savannah Brunty, Jeff Griffith have been involved in all that. They do a great job with all that. So, the kids know. I mean, it's great honor. It's great to be known because that helps you on the back end if you do have a good season.
Yeah.
If you start there, then odds are you got a chance to finish there. And so that, personally, that's great for all of them. But in the end, they know if we don't win, then the awards are going to slowly slip away.
Yeah.
And that's what the example I give them all the time was when I first got here was LSU because they just, won the national championship. Everybody got everything at LSU that year. Now, then the next 2 years was Georgia, right? Georgia got everything. Last year it was Michigan. Look how many people they had drafted and all these things. Of course, now we're finding out all the stuff they did.
Yeah,
but, hey, that's okay. But so, it doesn't really matter. It just motivates them, I think. We had scouts at practice today. So,
Nice.
That's always – that makes practice better. I don't have to yell as much. I don't have to do anything as much. All I have to do is kind of look over there. And then, the fortunate thing for me is, a lot of these guys I know. And so I sit there and talk to them for a while. And, they're like, oh, yeah, I better practice hard. Or coach is, not going to put – because I'm not going to lie because I want them to come back. So all those things are motivation factors, but if you're not self-motivated, it really doesn't matter because you're not going to succeed anyway.
Especially for guys like Peyton and Mike who have been around for a while. So they've got – this is their last time, last go-around, so they've got to take advantage of it.
Well, and they will. Both of them are good players, good young men. Both of them, Peyton's got his master's degree. Mike's got his degree.
Trash talk.
That should be his nickname.
And so he's, Mike's fun.
He is.
He's a Florida kid. I mean, you just got, luckily I've been around a bunch of them in my career. So, let it go in. I worked in the bars too. So you let them go in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but he can back it up. Both of them can. And so both scouts today were impressed with them and a couple other guys. So, it's fun to get their opinion when who's that? Who's that? And I'm like, okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't for sure if it would go that way or not. And here we go. So, but the most important thing is learning how to play the game and playing the game with a certain degree of physicality, a certain degree of, everybody's looking for smart people. I mean, it's like I tell these guys are billionaires that are going to pay you at this level. I mean, the owners are billionaires. They don't care. They got a prototype. That's what they want. And if you can bring that, you can't go in there and screw around or they're not going to pay you millions to be involved in their organization. And so we've got to continually remind them of that. And that's hard to do for a young man, who's never really made a lot of money. And, you're sitting there like, okay. And it's like I tell them, guys, the higher you go, same thing in coaching, the higher you go, the more people are coming after you. And you don't see them. And that's the way it is when you get to the NFL. So you got to prepare yourself that you can perform when you get there. And I think those two guys will have a shot if they have a good year. But they want to win more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
The word you said a second ago, Coach, was finish. You talked about how the players had to finish, or the accolades don't mean anything. We have loved the shirts week after week. There was there's been a streak.
Yeah, every
one of the players has had a shirt on, the finish shirt.
Right.
And I'm like, it needs to be the hashtag. But now, let's talk about that because the season did not end the way you wanted it to.
And so there's a lot of games that didn't end that way, too.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So talk about how the motivation, because the one thing we have noticed with the players this year, they have all talked and have all agreed about the bonding. This team seems to be more
tight-knit.
Exactly. And we've enjoyed it, haven't we?
Yeah,
it's been a great group this summer.
You know, I think this is our third year doing it. It's good to see the personalities, and it's a good mix. There might be, a couple of them that are more quiet.
Yeah.
Then you've got some that, like Mike, and who was the other kid?
Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe. He was
Marcellus.
Marcellus, Maddox, Marcellus was good. So the guys, you can see their personality kind of come out when you put the mic in front of them. And you had, I think the Dixon kid was shy, the wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. He don't say boo.
Yeah, there was a few of them that you could just
It
tell.
was fun to have some freshmen, too.
It was, yeah. Brady and John came on with us. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
But,
talk about that. Let's talk about how this team this year will be different and how your expectations of them finishing.
Well, I think the most important thing that every team has to understand is that winning is the goal. I get it, okay? But playing to the best of your ability is really the goal, okay? Don't put the pressure of winning, don't get me wrong, we talk about winning a championship and we got goals and we do all that. But in the end, if you go out there and give us the best version of yourself, the most consistent, best version of yourself that we can, then you got a chance. And if you really love the guys you're playing with, then you might get a little extra oomph because you can dig down. We all can push harder than we think we can. Nick Saban says that, most people want to be average. They do.
Yeah.
Most people want to sit at home and enjoy life and not have any pressure, not make any decisions, not put themselves in front of people to fail and all those things. And most people want to be average. And it takes a little more to be above average, and it takes a lot more to be great. And so they've got to continue. But if you're doing it because, we're doing this show here and all three of us love each other and are worried about each other and concerned about each other and care for each other, this show's going to be better than just three people that show up to provide whatever input we provide. And it's the same thing with the team. And you have to, know about each other to actually care about each other. And so we've done things all winter and then coming into the summer and then now in training camp, we're in groups and we do different things to where, we put, just different guys together. It doesn't matter, and a senior and a freshman walk on and a sophomore that's been here 3 years to a sophomore that's been here 2 years and a coach.
Yeah.
About 9 guys together all camp, and every day they do something together. So they either eat lunch or breakfast or lunch together. I think that was yesterday. So tonight at 9:30, they'll get together in groups and they'll discuss different things.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I do like that, and I did not know you did that.
Yeah, we it started in training camp, and so I met with my players board and my some guys that I think are just leaders in themselves that maybe not on the players board, and I met with them. I guess it was yesterday. And we discuss everything. It's like, as I tell them when we go in there, I'm like, guys, I'm the head coach, yes, and I know you're going to hold back maybe what you say, but don't hold back because I'm not going to hold back. Okay? You may say, hey, coach, yada, 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 and I may come back and go, well, what about this? Blah, 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 blah. And you may not like what I say, and I may not like what you say, but we both may, think about it and come back and have solutions to the problem. And I think that's what's important. It's having a voice, but just because you say something doesn't mean it's going to get done. It means, all right, how are we going to come to the conclusion? And then I think there was 25 of us walk out of that staff room aligned to go to the other staff and to go to the other players. And but I did ask them about the group to get back to that, the groups and how they were going. And to a man, every one of them was like, Coach, this is awesome. I didn't know this on this guy. I didn't know, this guy's crazy. He's funny. He's this, he's that. And the coaches are doing a good job with their questions. And, it's like one of them, Coach Day asked the other night, he's like, guys, what if you could, we're fixing to go to snack. We give them a snack every night at 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I think it was Qdoba that night. And he goes, if you could get any snack from your hometown, what would it be? and they all went, oh, I would go to blah, 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 or blah, 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 blah.
I just thought of one right in my head.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows what hometown snack they would go to back in their hometown, and and then it makes them think, oh, you got that there, oh, you like that, and it's just little things that spark interest in each other. And now when they see each other in the cafeteria, on campus, at a party, wherever, maybe they'll have each other's back a little more.
Mm-hmm. I think they learn things about each other even during the show.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they did.
You watching, did you learn anything about some of them?
When the ones I were able to watch, yes, you do.
Yeah.
You learn, you learn a lot about them. I mean, you can see, Gabe is no different off camera than he is on camera. Jacob Dixon's no different off camera than he is on camera.
Yeah.
You learn that, but you also learn little tidbits about them. A lot of them I know because we recruited all of them now, and so being, getting the information from recruiting, you find out. But there's certain things you do, like some of the stories, boxing, and different things that go on. You assume all that goes on because, in my household, we did that. And, everybody does that. But
maybe some of the nicknames. Too.
Yeah, and some of that stuff.
We learned some nicknames.
And you can tell who likes each other and who maybe doesn't. And that's okay. I mean, brothers fight.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have fights now. And when we, and sometimes they're like, holy cow. But, brothers fight. Sisters fight. I mean, that's okay.
Brothers and sisters fight.
Do they ever fight out on the field, like at practice?
Oh, yeah.
We don't have it much because I ain't got time
but
for
the trash
that.
talking maybe, or the...
They don't trash talk as much as on the field as they do off the field because here's the deal. You got to line up and play the very next play.
Yeah.
Right.
And you may have 4 in a row, and it's at 92 degrees out there, and you've been practicing for an hour and 45 minutes. Odds are you're going to get burnt. And what you learn is when you start trash talking too much, here it comes.
Yeah.
So, which team told us that? It was either the offense or the defense.
I think it was the defense.
Defense told us that.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't trash talk because
No, it was the offense.
Okay, it was the offense because they said
they
you
came
could
back
get
at
burned.
you the next play.
Well, because we're lining it. I mean, here's the thing about practice. All right, we put the ball at the 50 because it gets us a great camera view from our tower.
Mm-hmm.
You can knock it, run 20 yards, and we make the O-line chase the ball because that's what you're going to do in the game. And so then they got to turn around and run back to the 50. But we don't move it. We don't advance it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to get in the red zone and work red zone. We want to stay in the middle of the field and work, mixed downs. And so they get their condition. As long as they're moving, that I don't condition them after practice. They get their conditioning that way.
From that, kind of game practice that way, right?
Well, I mean, it's like you're in a tempo offense all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not tempo. So when we slow it down and come to a scrimmage, they're like, man, this is easier. Yeah, well, yeah, but because we're training your body to be in shape, to handle the strain, to learn how to strain and push yourself to limits that you didn't think. That's a coach's job. We got to push you to limits you didn't think you could go. And, some of that's training in the heat. I always say if you're going to play in the North Atlantic, you got to train in the North Atlantic. And so, we don't go inside when it's snowing. We don't go inside when it's raining. We don't go inside when it's hot. We don't have an indoor. If we had an indoor, we'd probably do that, but we don't. So if anybody wants to give us 10 to 15 million, we'll take it. We'll name it after you. I'm
you got
sure.
an extra 10, 15 million laying
Oh,
around?
yeah, just laying around. Yeah. Can it be called the Samantha
Training facility? If you build it, we will come.
They will come. Absolutely.
Let's step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk to Coach about the WKU game. That's a big topic, I know, during media day.
And QBs.
Quarterback situation. That's a big topic as well that we'll talk about when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in. We can't wait to see ya.
Your vehicle's safety and integrity depend on its windows, which means a small crack can lead to big problems. Whether it's a repair or a replacement, the experts at Aero Auto Glass can have your car's windows looking like new in no time. With mobile service available in Lexington, Richmond, and surrounding areas, you can have your car serviced close to home. If you have damaged auto glass, call the professionals at Aero Auto Glass, 866-975-4527.
Richmond's very own TV station signal is now stronger than ever. If you're enjoying free over-the-air TV, rescan your TV now for all the channels WBON-TV offers, including Channel 9.1 with the AMG network featuring great programming like Forensic Files, Cheaters, plus live local sports and our daily Live at 5 local newscast. Channel 9.2 with the Buzzer Network. Enjoy your favorite game shows of yesteryear. Channel 9.3 is the Heartland Network with classic country and southern gospel music, The Crook and Chase Show, classic movies, Jimmy Houston Outdoors, and much more rural living programs. And Channel 9.4, that's Retro TV, featuring classic TV shows and movies you love and remember. For more information on over-the-air TV, visit our website, WBON-TV.com, and click the over-the-air tab. Drop us a line today and let us know where and what you're watching. Email us at info@WBON-TV.com.
We're back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins talking with EKU head football coach Walt Wells. A weekend of training camp essentially and kind of getting things going. And one question everybody is thinking about, we've had Parker McKinney for so long, it feels like that was never a worry.
6
like,
years,
who's gonna be
right?
the,
6 years.
So who's going to be the
6
quarterback?
years.
Right.
Now, Samantha, that's the big question, right?
It is the question, Coach. Should we place a bet on it? I usually win. No, you usually win.
I usually win. You've won.
I was going to lie.
You've
but
won one.
I
You've won
never
one.
win
So,
our
yeah,
bets.
so you're good.
We
yeah.
just make fun bets. But, yeah, I don't know. Coach, you got any QB stuff you can spill?
Well, we've got a lot of good, talented young men in the room. Maxwell Smith's done a great job with them, and they're continuing to compete and compete hard.
It's the question everybody wants to know. Who's
I
going to start?
understand that, and we've just been in 5 practices.
Yeah.
We go full pads for the first time tomorrow. So we've got a lot to do to find out. We've got 2 full scrimmages coming up each Saturday. We'll figure it out. If one separates himself from the other, which I've said publicly that, Cam Herget and Matt Morrissey are the 2 right now. Colby Lambert's having a really good camp. Jackson House has had a really good camp. But those are things that we, separated them. So we, because reps are important at that position.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get reps with our receivers and the line and, switching the protections. And there's just a lot of things that go into it. So when one separates himself, we'll make that call. I've thought about it and, in the old days, you would hold everything until, you walk out on the field. And we may do that. I don't know.
No.
I mean, I really don't. But if one separates, we'll probably come out and let everybody know. And, like I was saying earlier in the break, they've got both of them's film. They've watched it.
Yeah.
They've watched all of Cam's high school film and his 4 or 5 clips that he's played here. They've watched every clip of Matt Morrissey from Western Illinois last year and everywhere else he's been. So they know everything about him. They don't know what plays we're running, and they think they know what plays we're running, which, there's some similarity there too. Just like we've got all Oklahoma's tape we've been watching and all of Alabama's defense and the defense where I think it was Virginia Tech or somewhere where Coleman was before that. I can't remember right off the top of my head where he ran a different style of defense than Alabama. And we've watched it all. So nowadays you can't hide anything.
Yeah.
And
let me add this to the question, too. They're both very different. So for fans that are watching right now, they may not know the difference in the two. They're
Right.
both, they've come from different worlds. One's a JUCO, one's out of high school, and then he came to EKU.
Right.
So talk to us about, just so that the fans know the differences real quick.
Cam was he's Mr. Football in the state of Kentucky, and he won multiple state championships at Beechwood. He's
2022, right?
Right. He's very. We had him in camp. We worked him in camp. We loved what we saw. That was back when Trent Stillman was our quarterback coach. He's worked hard since he's been here. He's very athletic. He's developing as a passer. That's something that they didn't do a whole lot of in high school. They did, but it was a different style than than what you do
Simple
in college.
passes.
Yeah, I mean, it was easier reads, and his athleticism allowed him to be what he needed to be. And then Matt started off at Northern Iowa and then transferred to Western Illinois, and he was honorable mention, I think, all Missouri Valley quarterback at Western Illinois, which didn't win a game. He got beat up pretty bad because of the offensive line there.
0-11.
Yeah, I mean, and that wasn't Matt's fault, but
right.
I mean, it was just
quarterback takes the blame, right?
Head coach and quarterback, we're tied at the hip, and you win them, you get too much praise, and you lose them, you get too much blame. But that's how it goes, and I'm fine with that. And so, he's a little slightly bigger. He's got a strong arm, and so we'll see where we're at, and it's like I said all the time long. Everybody wants me to pigeonhole one way or the other. They're different, but in the end, the results are what we're looking for. That's the same, and that's who can infuse leadership and direction into our football team, and who can make a difference in our team. That's what a quarterback does, in my opinion, and who can take our offense down and score touchdowns.
That's all we care about, right?
That's all I care about, and not turn the ball over.
Right.
And whoever does that the best is going to get the opportunity to play here. And now somebody may not drop as good, or somebody's elbow may not be as not accurate, but where it needs to be, and some things like that. But if we're scoring points, then that's what we're going to do. I mean, that's what we got to do. That's what we've done since we've been here, and we're not slowing down on that. So, I feel like as we move forward, there may be some separation. With who, I don't know. I really don't.
But you won't play a 2-quarterback system.
No, we're not going to run people in and out.
Right.
I would not think we would do that. I can't sit there and say that right now just because we're not to that point yet.
Yeah.
I would not say that. I mean, I don't think that's fair to the guy that you named the starter. Hey, you're going to be the starter. I mean, I get it. Spurrier did it, and a lot of people have done it. But, the old saying is if you got 2, you don't have one.
That's what I was going to ask.
He always says
that there's some truth to that. But there's also, if you got 2, you may have 2 really good ones.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, look what they had: Dwayne Haskins and Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They picked one, and they won a lot of ball games.
Yeah.
And the other one went somewhere and won a lot of ball games. So, that's the way I feel like we are. And so I've got to decide who is going to be best for the, 2024 Colonels.
The big game that everybody's talking about, obviously game 1 is game 1, but the Western game, and there's so many ties. Ryan Jackson's dad, and, you being part of the coaching staff there. I think your offensive line coach or, another one of your offensive staff came from there. So there's a lot of, integral parts when you look at the 2 schools. And obviously, it's been a while. It's 2017 the last time y'all played. 2006 is the last time EKU beat Western Kentucky. So
yeah, I was here on that one.
So and you talked about
not here. I was there.
Was it when the streak was it 06 when the streaking happened? Is that when that was?
No. The streaking happened in 3 and 4.
Okay.
So it happened here too, best I can remember. But I know it happened in 03 when I was at Western and Eastern came down. It was Danny Hope's first year. And they had just beaten a ranked Appalachian State.
Okay.
We were defending national champions. I wasn't on that staff. I was here with Coach Kidd's last staff. And then we played, I think, Union, Kentucky, and West Virginia Tech or something. We beat them 100-0. And then and so we hadn't played anybody yet. We didn't know what we had, and they had just beaten a ranked opponent for the first non-conference ranked opponent for the first time in a long time. And so we were like, oh, okay, let's see what's going, and we ended up winning 36-6. But we could run the ball. I mean, we had a big offensive line. I had a kid that, I brought in from, I forget what, Indiana, and Big Oak. And Big Oak ended up playing in the Super Bowl for the Bears.
Okay.
And Buster Ashley was one of the top tackles to ever play the game at the FCS level. and so had some really good football players. Eric Ravelette, my offensive line coach, was my GA that year.
Okay.
He had just finished playing at Western. In 2002, he was a starting center on the national championship team.
Man, so many ties. So many ties.
Yeah, I mean, on our staff, Jake obviously has the ties from this end.
Yeah.
Jake Johnson, our defensive coordinator. Eric Mathis, I met at Western because he was the defensive line coach when I was the offensive line coach, and he's our defensive line coach. Derek Day was a GA there when I was there. He was also a GA with us at Tennessee. Who else? Eric Ravelette, I talked about earlier. Andy Richmond was he was a GA here for me. His first job was a GA in 2002 here for me, and then he was and stayed here with Danny, and then he came down in 2006 and GA'd with us at Western. And so he was a part of it. There's more. Mike Dietzel.
Okay.
Me and Mike was hired the same year in 2003 and stayed the whole time. Well, stayed the whole time under David Ellison. I stayed with Willie Taggart. Mike, unfortunately, had to move on. And then, oh gosh, I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out.
Well, there's a lot. That just goes to tell you, though. I mean,
it's well, I stayed here 7 years before, or 6 years before I went to Western, and then I was at Western for 10 years. Now I've been back here at 12 total years, and I was there for 10 years. And it's. It's been two great jobs, and I've loved both places. Madison was born here.
Yeah.
My daughter, who's 24, my son, who's starting at Eastern now, was born in Bowling Green. And so, it is what it is. And in this profession, it's, they become jobs a little bit at times, especially when you're an assistant. And so, you love the place you're at, or you're not going to be successful.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about that game and you look at it, talk about the importance, though, because I heard you say yesterday that it's big for the programs, but it's also big for high school football as well.
Well, I think if you do the history of the Battle of the Bluegrass is what it's called. If you do the history of the Battle of the Bluegrass, for years it was the game in Kentucky. It wasn't Kentucky and Louisville.
Right.
And they didn't play for a while either. But then when they did play, both of them were, I don't want to say bad, but they weren't, like they are now. And so, people would come. I mean, the place was packed. I mean, here, there, both places. It was, my first year here, we played them twice. We played them here and got beat. And we played them in the playoffs and got beat. And that was 1997. And it was the last game we lost, best I can remember, until we played them again in the playoffs and then lost to them. And we went on a run, ran the OVC, and got back in there. And they sent us. We played them up here that year, and then went down there that year.
For the playoff game,
right? And close games, both of them. And then the next 2 years, we, Eastern beat Western, and then the last time Coach Kidd ever played them, we lost 6-3.
Man,
and down in Bowling Green. So then we didn't play them again, and then in 2003 it was the bringing back of that rivalry. And so, Coach was retired. Danny was the coach. David Ellison was the coach. And, we won the first three, lost in 2006, and then won the next one. And then Dean took over in 2008, and we won that one. And then it went away. So
I don't know how you remember it all.
Well, it's, that one, I don't remember a lot of the games.
Yeah.
But those were so
special.
I mean, I worked for Roy Kidd, who absolutely hated Western.
Yeah.
And then I went down there, and I got to know Jimmy Fikes, who, did not like Eastern. And I don't want to say hate because I never heard him say that. But then, Coach, there's a lot of they're so similar programs at certain points of their time, and the staff members stayed around. Like, you got Jim Tenera and Leon Hart and Joe Blankenship here. Down there, you've got, you got Butch Gilbert and oh gosh, I'm forgetting some names, but some other names that just stayed around there and made that rivalry what it is. Because then you saw each other recruiting.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And that's how I got hired. Coach Harbaugh hired me, and then he retired a month later. And I didn't, you didn't have contracts back then. And so I didn't have a job. I got Madison and Jen, and I'm looking at them like, I took this job, I turned down 3 jobs, and this guy just left. Well, David Ellison kept me. The only reason he kept me was because we knew each other from recruiting.
Okay.
And I beat him on a couple of guys. And so he's like, all right, he can recruit. Coach Harbaugh thought he was good enough to hire as the O-line coach. Willie Taggart sat in on the interviews and vouched for me, and here we are.
Man, well, it's crazy. I mean, It's so much fun when you look back at those games, though.
Yeah.
I mean, just the history. You got
And I
one
want to
more
add
question?
to,
Yeah.
well, I just want to add, I thought I heard you say in your media day that your teams, all, especially the seniors, have never seen a packed stadium before.
No, yeah.
Not at a G5 venue, not at
Right.
a FCS venue,
Right.
not at our venue.
Right.
And so, for them, hopefully, and hopefully for Western, I mean, hopefully the old heads will come out, and be a part of it. It's a later game, so it's going to be, it won't be cool, but it'll be cooler.
6 p.m.,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I think it's 6 Central, 7
Yeah.
Eastern. And so I've got great friends down there, right? Just like I got great friends here. And, they've all told me, hey, I'm not, I love you, blah, 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 but I'm not pulling for you. I've got former players that are calling that, hey, Coach, we love you. But, but there's a two-prong era down there.
Yeah.
Because it's the era that played against Eastern.
Yeah.
And then there's an era that didn't play against Eastern.
So it's kind of.
And so they're a little different. They're like, hey, can we get on the sidelines?
Yeah.
Can we do this? Can we do that? But, the other person I forgot that has a huge in Eastern connection is Jeff Griffith.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Jeff played at Madison Central. He grew up going to every Eastern game and went to Western.
Okay.
On scholarship and played football down there, and then started his high school coaching career down there and stayed down there. So it's, he's going to want to win. And so, it's a tall task. Okay, both Mississippi State and Western are back to back. That's hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two FCS
kinda like
teams,
last
two
year.
FBS
Well,
teams.
yeah, and
Cincinnati and Kentucky. back to back.
I'd rather do that than do it the other way. I'm not complaining, not
Right.
saying anything, but we've got to have motivation, and I think the past is the motivation, and I don't want to put the cart before the horse, because we got Mississippi State, who is they're going to have dudes. They're
Yeah.
going to have 7 to 10 guys that are going to get drafted, and we're going to have to deal with them. And I'm not going there to perform well. I'm not. I'm going there to win.
Yeah.
And that's how we approach it, because if you don't approach it that way, then why are you
Why are you going?
why are you playing the game? I mean, we can find $500,000, $600,000, whatever they're paying us, some other way.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we're going to win the game now. Does that mean it's an easy task? Does that mean it's hard to do? Yeah, but I mean, it's just like last year. We went to Cincinnati and got blown out, looked like dog crap. And then turn around the next week and we take Kentucky. We could have led
the
it
fourth quarter.
We could have led it to half, and we were in the fourth quarter with them. And so that's what I preach. Listen, I want to win every game, but if you play your tail off, then we should be in every game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that means either winning by a lot, or losing by a little, or winning by a little, or tied.
Yeah.
And
Like either one.
But it gives you a chance. You got to have a chance to win the game. We had no chance at Cincinnati in the fourth quarter for whatever reason. And
I blame it because it was 115
It was
outside.
warm.
well, it was 115 for Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
And so I've
They
looked
kind
at
of just came out guns a
They
blazing.
came out and they played well, and they were well prepared. And we had some guys that weren't. I don't want to say well prepared, but weren't prepared for the situation as
maybe
well.
mentally.
Yeah. Well, they hadn't played a lot.
Yeah.
And they got on us.
Well, I was looking at the Central game the night before you all played Western. They play at Lexington Catholic. I'm just trying to plan my route to get down to Bowling
You're
Green.
planning your weekend.
Well, if you're in Lex Catholic, you just pop down on the Bluegrass Parkway
That's right.
down to
Down that way.
E-Town and then just
That's
roll
right.
on.
Right.
I've done them all. I mean, I've recruited this state since 1997, from here to the western part of the state, and from the western part of the state all the way back here to Ashland. So it's been fun.
Coach, thank you for coming by. I know you got to go.
Season tickets are on sale
get 'em.
now. Get
Fan
'em
Day's
now.
coming
And they'll be
up,
there on
so-
Fan Day.
Yeah.
Fan Day, you can get your tickets then, too.
No doubt about it.
And we'll talk more about Fan Day, August 24th in the coming week.
Yeah, next Monday we'll have someone on to talk about Fan Day, and we'll have all the information up. It's online now, EKUsports.com for Fan Day season tickets, all the good stuff, the schedule there as well.
Question. If they want to go from Richmond to the Western game, do they call to get tickets at EKU or do they call Western?
Well, they better call EKU first.
Okay.
Because that
Have a
helps
lot of
us, and
tickets.
you'll sit in the
our
EKU section. If we're sold out, then you call Western. I'm sure they'll have tickets. They may be up high or wherever, but you can still get them because they want to sell that thing out. I'm sure it's their home opener. They've got a brand new press box. They got all these things going on. They play Alabama first. So we both can come in looking the same maybe, and they're looking to get, to start your season off the right way and have a big crowd and have a good game. I think it's fantastic. I may not think it's fantastic after the game, but I think it's fantastic right now. But I know our guys will be ready to play, and I don't think we've shied away from anybody.
Well,
so
Coach,
get your tickets.
Thank you for coming by. We'll take another commercial break. When we come back, Madison Central girls golf team will join us. They're off to a great start themselves. We'll talk to them about how they have been doing to get the season underway when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Are you looking for a brand new SUV that won't break the bank? Look no farther than Jack Burford Chevrolet, home of the newly redesigned 2024 Trax. Bigger, bolder, more refined, and starting under $25,000, the new Chevy Trax is really upped its game. Come see us at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond or check us out at jackburford.com to see everything this new Trax has to offer.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in. We can't wait to see ya.
Your vehicle's safety and integrity depend on its windows, which means a small crack can lead to big problems. Whether it's a repair or a replacement, the experts at Aero Auto Glass can have your car's windows looking like new in no time. With mobile service available in Lexington, Richmond, and surrounding areas, you can have your car serviced close to home. If you have damaged auto glass, call the professionals at Aero Auto Glass, 866-975-4527.
Richmond's very own TV station signal is now stronger than ever. If you're enjoying free over-the-air TV, rescan your TV now for all the channels WBON-TV offers, including Channel 9.1 with the AMG network featuring great programming like Forensic Files, Cheaters, plus live local sports and our daily Live at 5 local newscast. Channel 9.2 with the Buzzer Network. Enjoy your favorite game shows of yesteryear. Channel 9.3 is the Heartland Network with classic country and southern gospel music, the Crook and Chase Show, classic movies, Jimmy Houston Outdoors, and much more rural living programs. And Channel 9.4, that's Retro TV, featuring classic TV shows and movies you love and remember. For more information on over-the-air TV, visit our website, WBON-TV.com, and click the over-the-air tab. Drop us a line today and let us know where and what you're watching. Email us at info@WBON-TV.com.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford. Appreciate Coach Walt Wells coming over with us. And
we had
Samantha,
to get our picture taken with him.
We did. And Coach is, he's really never looked so good before having, me and you. Now you kind
and
of
he's getting ready to go to a American Heart Association event where they're going to actually train all the players how to do CPR and all that, which I think is fantastic. Yeah. Well, and he's really proud of that.
He is.
Very proud of that.
Tell you what, speaking of proud, we've got some ladies here who should be
and
proud
we're proud
after a
of
great
you
start.
girls.
For 3 of their first 4 tournaments have been victories for the Madison Central girls golf team. We got Molly, Faith, and Amelia over here with us tonight.
got it right.
Ladies, first of all, let's talk about the last tournament y'all played in. It was your own at Gibson Bay last,
And
I
I
believe
think
it was
they're
last
what,
Tuesday.
a 2 or 3 time champion of your own tournament? Yeah. I think
Got one the last 3 years
Let's
in a
just
row?
say they keep winning it every year.
Well, obviously playing on your home course. Talk about
Yeah.
that and what that's like compared to playing, somewhere else. Because you all have been around for a little bit, so you're experienced.
Yeah.
But what's it like still when you're playing on your home course as opposed to maybe playing in Lexington or somewhere east?
I think playing on our home course kind of gives us somewhat of an advantage, but it also kind of makes us more nervous because you're like
More pressure?
it's more pressure. You have more family and friends that come watch you, but it's also no one gives enough credit to the parents and the coaches that put this on. The tournament, the parents are up there at 6:30 a.m. setting up banners and getting food ready and coolers and flags on, just the smallest stuff you don't even think
sponsorship
of.
things,
yeah, just the smallest stuff. And they work the hardest, and we just have to show up and play golf, really. I mean, that's all we ever do.
Well,
but
you girls get the pressure of,
Yes.
of the playing.
Yeah.
And playing in the soggy wetness.
that was
It was wet.
It was very wet.
So talk to us about that while we're still talking about this tournament, because obviously one of you girls, you go for it. But obviously it was different from the morning to the afternoon.
Yeah. Really going out there, Gibson Bay is a hard course to begin with. So going out there where it's all wet, you really have to think about the speeds of the greens. And then when it changes from kind of morning to afternoon, it all just changes. You've got to either club up or club down. It just, going out there, you really just have to take into perspective, the difference between how wet it is and how your ball can get stopped a little shorter, or it could even go further, or it could get stuck in the mud. Mine did that on Tuesday. So
stuck in the
yours
mud.
finds the worst places to
we
be.
almost lost it because it got so deeply stuck in the mud. So.
Well, and Amelia,
That's something you and I would do, but we would not be near a fairway.
I wouldn't be able to
we
find
would be over in the weeds.
Well, talk about this. So, with you all dominated. You won by, I think, 20, was 6,
It was a
20
lot.
something,
Something like
24
that.
strokes. Yeah. So, did you ever kind of feel the pressure of a lead whenever you found out, how you all were doing in the tournament, or did you just, hey, let's keep trucking, let's keep this thing going?
So we never actually really knew in the tournament that we were leading by so far. I didn't know how any of the other girls were doing. I didn't know that we had one of our players shoot even par. I had no idea that we were gonna shoot 300. It was quite a surprise to find out that we did, and it was a pleasant surprise. But during the tournament, you don't know what everyone's shooting. You're just kind of playing your game.
I don't think any of us ever look at the leaderboard.
None of us ever look at the leaderboard.
If
Just
it
stay
tells you
focused
anything,
on
I
what
had
you're
to
doing.
add it up when we were sitting around at the end and everyone came in. I was like, let me get my phone out and add this stuff. What did we even shoot? Yeah, we had no clue.
We just had no clue.
So it's better that way.
Yeah.
You feel
Yes.
less pressure.
Yeah.
Less
You
pressure.
just play your game, focus on you, and then you hope that your teammates are bringing it home
Yes,
with you.
Yes, exactly. And it's less nerve-wracking that way. You play and you don't know what everyone else is shooting, so you don't worry about trying to do better. You just keep going on and staying very even killed and stuff. So,
But I'm sure going down the fairways, opposite ways, you might see your teammate. Do you do you give a high five, air five? What do you do? How do you get their acknowledgement? How's it going? Because I would think at some point you want to give them encouragement, right?
We normally just wave.
yeah,
You
we just
wave.
we wave, give them thumbs
Sometimes-
up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be thumbs up or thumbs down, just
Yes,
to ask them
we did that all the time.
how they're doing. I normally
Thumbs
get
up or thumbs
I normally
down.
get kind of like this,
You don't want to give them too much confidence, right? You go out there and keep doing your thing, because I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever? So I know this program is with Coach Orr and what Kyle's doing with the boys. It's very impressive. Golf has really kind of became the sport at Madison Central with everything else. We know how basketball's got the history, football and baseball's had success as well. But consistently recently, softball. Hey, how about cheerleading? I mean, but recently though, you all have been the sport early on in the year. You're like, okay, let's get the sports year started off right with a state championship or just consistently winning the individual championships. So talk about that and just, do you all ever talk to the boys or do y'all ever compete against the boys maybe before the season and really have some fun with it before you all
Or
really
play
get going in the
against them.
season?
How great would that
Yeah.
be if they had a tournament?
We need to have a match play. We
Yeah.
need to play
Yes.
this and
We
just
do,
see what happens.
That'd be a great fundraiser.
Yeah, sometimes we'll be out there. I mean, everybody, I feel like you can go and you'll see at least one player between both teams at Gibson Bay, I feel like. But they were out there the other day and we just happened to be on the putting green at the same time. And, you know, we're friends. We're all friends. We just talk and sometimes we'll play putting games. And it's just, I mean, we're all friends. We're all close.
No
so.
competition then, like whenever you're out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll play with some of the guys sometimes and we'll go out there and just play. I played match play with Tucker a couple times and we have tied twice, but hopefully I can beat him one time.
Do you all, so I know the last time I saw you up there once at the virtual.
Yeah, the garage.
At the garage, yeah. So do you go up there a lot during the fall and winter to kind of work on your game? Girl, so do you all do that too? So talk about that and how that has kind of helped you maybe this year that you didn't have that in years past.
So with that, they just built it recently.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's even been out for a year yet, but about 6-7 months maybe.
Yeah. So they built it, and it really helps us because you can't go out and play when it's below like freezing. You know, you can't go out and play. And so it really helps us to be able to hit inside like that and be able to see our different shots, be able to just work on our game in that way. And it's a really good facility. We all enjoy it and we all have fun there and it's a good time. So
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Now on top of that, I don't know if you girls have been to the new Millstone Social restaurant downtown. Well, see, you guys could go in there. They've got a what do you call it? Like a virtual.
Yeah, it's just what is it called? I know that's not virtual is not the word for it, but that's what I said too. But like, what's the
like a simulation?
Yeah, golf
it's a
simulator.
simulation. That's what it is. Thank you, because we didn't know the proper term. But you all could walk in and be like, "Oh, I've never played golf before. Who wants to teach me how to play?" And you guys could, rack it up and be like, "Oh, look at that! I just beat you."
Yeah, it's not. I know what is that called? Where like you kind of like joke or you. I can't think of it.
Like if you're...
What is it? Hustle. There you go. Hustle.
Oh, thank you,
I can't
Gage.
think today, Burford. I mean, what have you done to me?
I'm with you.
The sun is like melted my brain. So talk about this week. What's the next tournament y'all have got coming up?
Tomorrow we play again at Gibson Bay.
Okay.
So, and then after that, Friday, we play at Lakeside Country Club in Lexington. And then Saturday is Eagles Nest?
Busy week.
Yes.
Eagles Nest?
Yeah.
We have 3 this
And
week.
Monday is Arlington.
Okay.
And then we start school Wednesday.
All right. So
3 this week.
Yeah.
So that's right. That's about what you guys do, right?
Yeah,
3
3
a week. Yeah.
So what's your favorite course? You got a favorite course, Faith? And then, talked about tomorrow. What's the goal for tomorrow's tournament? Are you going to shoot better than you did last week? That's going to be hard to do for anybody.
Yeah. I like pretty much like any aspect of all the courses we play, but I really like Weisinger Hills just because I feel like anytime I go out there, like, I normally can do a pretty okay, and I just think it's a really pretty course. And I'll miss playing it because I graduate this year. But tomorrow, I mean, I always want to shoot better than the last tournament before, whether it's cutting down some strokes in my putting or just hitting some greens. So, and at Gibson, I like to do better than I did before. Gibson, sometimes it's hard, but hopefully tomorrow we can just all get a little hyped up and we can all do better than we did. So,
I mean, it's got to be exhausting hot.
Yeah, it won't be as wet tomorrow. That's one good
that's
thing.
for sure. Talk to us about the goals for the season. Obviously, golf being such an individual sport, because you have your red team that, also plays with you guys, but there's also individuals that play. So talk to us about maybe you 3 have individual goals, but also the team goal. I'm hoping it's a state championship, right?
Yeah.
Y'all talk about that?
Yeah, I think as a team, we obviously want to make it to state. We didn't last year, so we want to make it as a team. We had Mackenzie and Haley made it last year, but definitely as a team we want to go because it's a great experience to stay in a hotel room, play the practice round, experience both days because Bowling Green's not an easy course, so you get to play that together. And individually, I don't know, I guess get a new PR and I want to make first team All-State, try to get as many points as I can and inch my way up the leaderboard.
What team are you on? Are you in the gym channel? Are you in the Olympics at the gym?
I'm Italy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so we got
there must be some competition
Are
at
you
gym.
USA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got the red, white, and blue on your shirt.
Well, I was supposed to.
Okay, go.
But probably, I'm guessing
I went
her
off
points.
topic a little bit.
Her points
Oh,
are probably
100%.
going to whip your points.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
No, obviously now you're scared of competition with me in there. Listen, she would destroy me in golf. But maybe at the gym I might have a little bit of an edge because she's got to go to school here soon to halfway through the competition. So
he's going to say he's going to beat you because you're going to be at school.
Yeah.
No, 5 a.m. I'll be there.
I will not be there at 5 a.m. I'll be snoring.
So Italy's got you there.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yes.
I don't remember what question you asked. No, I just got distracted. I saw her race and I'm like, what team is that? Yeah.
Goals.
Really, as a team, yes, state would be fabulous. It really is just fun being in the hotel and just being able to be together as a team. And I guess for me personally, I would love to be able to get a new PR. But, I mean, I think more my goal is just to have a great last year because I probably won't play golf in college just because I'm going to go on to medical school and stuff. So
that's impressive in its own right.
Thanks. Well, and I just love all the girls on this team. They've all become some of my best friends. So I really just want to have a good time with them and be able to make some good last memories with them. So,
Amelia.
So as they've all said, the state champ that'd be great for us. We had one a while back. My sister was one of the players that won, and so I would love to be able to recreate that, I guess you could say, for my senior year. But just for me, again, like they've all said, PRs, but I just want to be able to enjoy my senior year. I want to be able to say that I played high school golf for 6 years and I enjoyed every single year. So that's really my goal, is just say I enjoyed it all.
Real quick, we got time for one more question probably. I wanted to ask about Coach Orr. Obviously, she is a legend, a Hall of Famer. So when you have somebody like that who's been around golf and has kind of seen it all, what can you learn? I mean, you can learn a lot from her, but like, what is there one thing where maybe she's helped you at that you didn't even realize you needed critiquing on or you didn't need to work on maybe in the off season? Is there one story you can tell about Coach Orr where she's really like, hey, do this, and it's, oh, well, this has completely changed my game?
She likes to be very creative with her shots. She likes to tell us to be more creative in how we think and our shots, how we hold like our club, how we putt, different things. So she's told me before to use a different grip before and like a left-handed grip instead when I'm putting. And it's helped me quite a bit. It's a little bit difficult to get used to, but I've had a couple instances where she's really like blown my mind with how smart and intelligent she is.
Anybody else got another Coach Orr story?
I mean, I was really struggling with chipping last week, and I was like, Tinny, like, come over here, like, this is bad. And she was like, you know, do this, this, and this, and I hit it, and it was perfect. And I was like, you know, sometimes I looked at Amelia, I was like, sometimes I really underestimate her, and I'm like, and then she just talks, and I'm like, you're brilliant, like, this is incredible.
I said the same thing about me at work, so I understand it completely. Well,
Not true.
Totally.
Anything for you real quick before we have to go off the air?
I mean, Tinny, just any question that I have or anything that's going wrong, she just knows a solution for. She really just knows, like, how to play golf, and she knows just how to encourage you and make you feel better about how you're playing and just fix you like that.
All right, real quick. Does anybody have a quick superstition? Like, do you do anything pregame?
We do a roll tribe on 3.
Yeah, we do a 1, 2, 3 roll tribe, and it's.
But nobody carries around a sock in their pocket.
I do.
you carry around a sock?
Not a sock,
okay,
not
okay.
a
I was
sock.
gonna say, I mean,
But
A dirty sock.
I wear the same jewelry every time, same hairstyle.
There you go.
I have a ball, like a divot repair tool that I keep on my side in a pocket.
And brings you good luck.
It brings me good luck.
do you have a song or anything you listen to before the show?
They might.
I mean, I can get pumped up for the show. I listen to some AC/DC to get me ready to come on here and do a good broadcast.
You got a superstition?
I don't have a superstition. More just like taking a deep breath before every shot. But I normally like to listen to some hype music to get me going.
AC/DC
Recently,
for you too?
recently it's been some Rihanna.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right, there you
Different
go.
generation.
Hey, I like some Rihanna too.
Oh, true.
All right, Molly.
Molly?
Real quick.
I mean, I wear the same ribbons. I was going to wear the same ribbons as softball as I do like
For
golf, but I wore them one tournament and it didn't work. So I switched them. But now I wear the same ones, same hairstyle, same
There
shoes,
you go.
same tuck on the skirt. But I mean, no, I don't. My dad's bad at superstition. But I mean,
I can see
I'm
that.
not bad.
We
I
got to
kinda
have
just,
Randy on the show.
I kind of. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if
He
he'd
could
know
give
here.
us some
Well,
scoop.
Ladies, we appreciate y'all coming over. Busy week
Good
tomorrow.
luck to you.
Go over there and support them tomorrow. They got a tournament tomorrow. What time do y'all
Yes.
tee off? Do you know?
8:30.
8:30 in the morning. Yeah. So go over there and support them in the morning, and then they'll be wrapping up probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock again. Coming around 18, so go out there and support them. The Madison Central girls golf team.
They're going to need a bigger
And then
trophy case.
Arlington next is Arlington the model tournament? Is that
Monday,
so
yeah.
next Monday? Okay, so we're a week away from that as well. So a busy couple of weeks coming up for all the golf teams. I saw the Central boys today got 6th, I think, in the tournament they were in the team tournament down in Lexington. So we're going to wrap things up here. Thanks to Walt Wells, the EKU football coach, Madison Central girls golf. Thank you all for coming as well. We'll see you next time on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.